ఫోన్ ఎవరిది? ఫోన్ ఎవరిది? ఫోన్ ఎవరిది? నాది కాదు. రాజుదేమో. రాజుదై ఉంటుంది. వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. Yeah, very good morning, guys. Just a minute. Actually, the system got changed. Let me quickly create the project, what we have just created yesterday. MVC data transfer. It is creating a virtual directory, Pragati. Read the notes and watch the video. I said that it won't have a port. It is not going to create a site for you there. It will run there as a application under the default website. Because it runs as a application under the default website, you will not get the port number when you run on the IES. Okay. Well, so very good morning, guys. So last class, we have been just talked about I think you're sleeping, guys. I said you also. I reconfiguring the project. Wait. Okay. So last day, I just we are talking on the temp data, and in the temp data, I just been explained you. What's it? Temp data uses temp data dictionary, and the scope of temp data is multiple requests. The scope of temp data is multiple requests, and to demonstrate that, I just written two methods to you. One is index 3. When you call the index 3, it will call you. So two different requests now. The first request you're sending to index 3. Index 3 is sending a redirection response to the browser. Browser is again sending a new request to index 4. And now index 4 is launching the view to you. Okay, this is not a single request. This is multiple requests. We have two different requests here, not a single request. And because it is going to be a multiple request, you can notice it here. What is it? The data basically will be carried between this. And to demonstrate view bag and view data will not carry the information I shown you. View data and view bag, if you understand, they don't carry the information from one request to the other request. They don't carry the data from one request to other request. ఏమైంది వస్తలేదా ఎప్పుడు నేను మాట్లాడలేదు ఇందాక నేను మాట్లాడలేదు. Okay, fine. So view data, view bag will not carry the data from one request to the other request. Their scope is only one request. The scope is only one request. But when you talk about the temp data is carried to multiple requests. Clearer? So if at all you want to fix this, particular problem, you change the remaining two also from the view bag, view data, just to change up to temp data. Just a minute, guys. When you execute the method, yeah, guys, have a look. Read this. How to execute? Leave that. That's not important. Look from here. Home. So when the request is sent to, it will redirect to index for action method by calling redirect to action. So this method will send a redirection response. What is that? 302 to the browser. So that browser will send a new request to index for action method again, and then index for view gets launched, and we can watch that in the browser address bar, which will be shown as following. Now the address bar changed off now. Are you clear? Okay, if you watch the output in the browser, it will not display the values of ID name, but it will display the value of price, because view data, view bag cannot maintain the state of values between multiple records, but temp data can maintain. View data, view bag cannot maintain this information, but temp data can maintain this one. Okay. If you want to resolve the above problem, go to index 3 action method and change view data and view bag to temp data, and change the code in index4.cshtml file and watch the difference. So what to do? Come here. Yeah. Here we used view data, view bag, right? Get rid of them. Now using temp data in both the two places. We're using temp data in both the two places, not only here. Go to index 4 view also and change here. What's it? Temp data, temp data. Clearer? Now again, send your request to index 3. Index 4 will launch, but yesterday ID and name did not come correct, but today they will come. Why? Because we are not using view data and view bag. What are we using? Temp data. So send your request. Okay, guys, send your request to which method? Index 3. Sending my request to index 3. You can see the browser. My request is sent for index 3, all of you. correct? But what launches is index 4 with all the values. Am I clear? So what we learned? Temp data, view data, view bag are having a scope restriction. What is that? Only in one request. But when you talk about temp data, the data can be carried between multiple requests. The data can be carried between multiple requests. Okay, fine, guys. See, watch it. In the above example, by using redirect to action helper method, we're able to transfer the control from another action method present in the yes or not, 3 or 4 in the same. Whereas we can also transfer to an action method that is present in another controller also. Not only within the controller, guys, you can go to another controller also. Okay, let's test it, guys. Watch. Watch it, all of you. Copy this method. Which method? Index 3. Pasting it here. Okay, pasting it here. Let me rename the method as index 5. Let me rename the method as index 5. From here, I want to transfer the control. Where you want to transfer? I want to transfer the control to another action method, which is present in another controller. Are you clear? Now, if I say index 4 means transferring to same, correct? But I want to transfer to another controller. Okay, where you want to transfer? Actually, guys, in my project, let me add a new controller. We already have one controller called home controller, right? Let us add a new controller. Add a controller. We'll name the new controller as test controller. The name I'm giving is test controller. And in the test controller, I wanted to write a method called as index 1. This index 1 is a different controller. Correct? Okay. From where I want to transfer now? From the index 5 action method, I want to jump to which method? Index 1. Index 1 means first it will check in the same controller, comma, overload method. It is again a overload method. See, when you're typing, only it is showing you action method name, controller name. If I don't tell the controller name, default controller is same. But if I'm telling the controller name, it will take you to another controller. So now you're jumping from where to where? Home controller to test controller. Index 5 to index 1. Is it clear? Come on. Come on. Let us come to test controller. Right click on index 1. Add view. Add the view. Come on, create the table there. Same code only, guys. Temp data. Just to substitute the temp data values. Copy paste. What should I run? Tell me the controller name also. What should I run? Home controller index 5. What will launch? Test controller index 1. And the process, these values will go there also. The values will go there also. Okay, come on, watch, guys. Let me type /home /index 5 /ID 101 /name shows /price 3,500. So observe, guys, you are calling home controller and hit the enter key. Are you clear? Transferring from one action method to another action method. If you want to transfer, you're required to call a method called redirect to The name is clear, na? Redirect to action, redirect to action, redirect to an action. That action method can be in the same controller also. The action method can be in another controller also. Okay. So that's what. So what I'm telling you here is, yeah. And to test it, add a new action method in a home controller class first. And what you're writing, index 5. Next step. Okay. What you'll do, add a new controller, test controller. And we have index 1. And this is the code in the index 1. Same code only. All these views are same code here. What is changing? View data, view back, temp data. Only that particular. Remaining all are same code. Okay. See. Guys, observe. Execute. Okay, na? Louder, yaar. No energy. This is the URL now. Test index 5. And understand the flow of controller. Request sent to home controller, right? Understood all of you? Your request went to index 5 action method of home controller and it redirected to index 1 action method of test controller. That's what you are redirecting. Okay. Guys, is view data type safe? View bag? Yes, view bag is type safe. View bag is type safe. Temp data? No. Temp data is also not type safe. That's why see, in our view, we performed a conversion. We performed a conversion means what is the meaning? It is not type safe. Okay. So view data as well as temp data, both are not type safe. See, note, temp data is also not type safe like view data. So here also we need to perform type conversion while working with data. And the only difference between view data and temp data is temp data can maintain the data is carried between multiple requests. Are you clear? And to see the transfer, I shown you how to watch it also. Open your browser. In the browser, use F12. Go to network tab. And then you send the request in the bottom. You'll see first request went to where? Second request went to where? All those things you can clearly observe inside of it. Are you clear? Okay. Drawback of temp data. Drawback of? There's a drawback with temp data also. What is the drawback? Guys, listen. Once you access the values from the temp data, the data in temp data is deleted. Did you understand what I said? Means how many times can you pick that value? One time only. Once I pick, suppose I have int x is equals to 100. I picked the value of the x. After picking the value of the x, is the value lost? No, na? Int x is equals to 100. Somewhere I said int y is equals to x. X value is copied to y. But x value is the same only, na? X value won't change. But here, once you pick the value from temp data, the data is lost. Are you clear? Once you pick the value from temp data, the data is lost. All the data that is present in the temp data is lost. Is the problem clear? Okay. Now the question is, how can I fix it? How can I fix it? I'll tell you how to fix it. Just to demonstrate that, to prove you the data is lost. The data is lost. See, in the index1.cshtml of test controller, in the index1.cshtml of test controller, it corresponds to test controller, not to home. I am adding a link in the bottom. What is the link? I want a link. When you click on the link, it has to launch a new page. When I click on the link, it has to launch a new page. New page means should call a new action method. For every page launch, an action method should be called compulsory. You cannot directly launch a page. What to do? Call the action method that will launch you a page now. Okay. So observe guys what I'm doing. Watch this. I'm adding a link there. What is the link? Click to launch new page. What is the page? See? Test controller. Means you're required to write a method now. Where? Method name. Display one. Got it? So let's go to test controller. Write a method. Public view result. Display one. Return view. Is that clear? Add a view for it. Right click. Add view. Display. Okay. What do you want to write here, sir? What I want to write here, I want to write the code for displaying all the three values again now. I want to write the code for displaying all the three values again. So let me copy the table, pasting it here. The same table only, I'm pasting it here. Okay, all of you carefully observe. First, my request goes to index 5 will launch index 1 of test controller and shows the values. Below that, there will be a link. When you click on the link, it will launch your display 1 of test controller. Are you clear? Three action methods we are flowing now. First one, index 5 of home controller. Second one, index 1 of test controller. Third one, display 1 of test controller. Are you clear? Come on, let us call. Observe guys. Come on, type /home. Already there. There na index 5101. So what are you calling? What is launched? Click on this. Should launch me. No values. No values. Why, sir? Because already you access the values in index 1. Sir, if I don't access the values in index 1, can I access in display 1? Yes. Check it if you want. Go to index 1, guys. In index 1, remove this table here. If I remove the table, what is the meaning? I'm not accessing the values now. Correct? Okay. Again, run home index 5. Again, guys, home index 5. Table is not there. Click on this. Will launch you. Got it or not? So how many times can I access the values? One time only. This is the drawback of temp data. We can fix this. We can fix the problem, not an issue. That is the default behavior. That is the default behavior. Let me replace the table back, guys. So what is the default behavior? Once we access the values, we cannot get the values back again. We cannot get the values. Means the values are deleted. Read the drawback of temp data. To test this, add a I added a hyperlink there. Okay, na where I added index 1.0 of test controller. This hyperlink I added. Next. Test controller. We'll have a doubt, sir, you're navigating between these pages. Sir, you already, every one of you are using websites now. In a website, remember, here you navigate like that only. Na? First, you come to one page, you click on the button, another page will open. You click on that, another page will open. You will navigate between all pages like this only. Tomorrow, when you go to real time, this is how the application should work. Are you getting my point or not? You will just open the site, home page will come. There, you selected a product. You have a product here. You selected a product. In Amazon, you just selected one product. Immediately, what will happen? It will launch you another page now showing you a picture display image there. You selected one product here. The main sale page will open there, showing you a bigger image there. Navigating or not? From there, it goes to payment page. You keep on navigating like that only. When you navigate, are you able to carry the data from one page to another page? That is important now. I added an item in the cart. So that is using temp data now. That is using temp data. I went to cart page. In the cart page, I added. I went to payment page. The value came in the payment page. In the payment page, I showed the values. On the payment page, there is a credit card or whatever it is. I selected credit card and click on the confirm. It takes you to next page now. Array, your cart is empty now. Yes or not? Your cart became empty. So that's what we need to know. What to use when. In what scenarios do I require to use view data? What scenario do I require to use temp data? That's why what I'm showing you. The problems, what you face, how to fix them, all these things. Are you clear with the temp data? What is the drawback? You can access the value only once. Once accessed, the data is lost. Okay. And guys, observe how to execute also. Call your index 5. It will launch index 1 view of displaying the values, and now click on the hyperlink. Just click on the hyperlink we added to launch display 1 view of test controller. But display 1 view will not display the values because we access the values in index 1 view and immediately those values got deleted. All the values got deleted. So cannot be accessed in display 1 view again. See the flow of control. Request sent to of redirected to action method of when we click the link, it is redirected to where display 1 action method of test controller. Understand the flow correctly first. Where you're starting, where are you going? That sequence you should not miss anywhere. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So one thing we got a clarity now. What is that? Once we access the value, the values cannot be accessed anymore. Are you clear? Once we access, we cannot access the value anymore. It won't be accessible to you anymore. But I want to access. Where you want to access? I want to access in multiple pages like this. I want to access in multiple pages. All values are one value. Sometimes all values, sometimes some values. Sometimes all values, sometimes one value. Are you clear? Okay. Guys, if you want to fix the problem, read this. To overcome the above problem and access the values in next request, we need to use the peak method of temp data while accessing the values, so that the values will be persisting even after accessing them and can be accessed again. To do that, change the code in index 1 access method as following. How to change the code? See, this is what you have written already. Change it. How to change? Dot peak. It's a method, guys. Peak. That's why not square braces, round braces. Are you clear? If I call this method, what will happen? In display 1, you can again watch the values. Okay. So before I make the change, one more time, let me run and show you. No, man. Santosh, no. In view that it won't happen like this. I'm calling home index 1. What is launched? Sorry, I called index 5 home. Now test index 1. Click on the page. Values are not accessible. So let me go to, say, I'm in index 1 again. I just use the back button. Refresh, not getting the value. See why? Lost. The values are lost there. You're not getting the value again. Okay. So go to index 1 action method. Go to index 1 action method and change the code. What's it? Temp data dot peak. Are you clear? Clear? So where did I change the code? Index 1. So display 1 can have the values? Yes. But once the display 1 having the values, again from there, if you refresh or go to, you lost the values now. Okay, watch. Yeah, watch guys. Again, you're calling home index 5. Test index 1. Click here. Got a values. From here, redirect again. No. Why, sir? Because you did not call peak in display 1. Where you call index 1. So yeah, how to test it? Refresh the page here. Enough. Refresh. Lost. All values are lost. Why? Once accessed, all the values are lost. Clearer or not? Sir, I want to retain here also. Here also write again. Understood? Here also write again. There's another way to do this. There's another way. What is the method I call? Peak. Peak. Basically, this peak, we called on all the 3. I call peak on 1. 2 and 3 are not accessible now. Are you clear? Tomorrow, I have 20, 30 values. I need to call peak every time now. If you want to retain all values, there is another way to retain called as a keep. Just reverse a peak, keep. That's all. You call keep method. Keep method will not. Sorry, no need to call on all. Once you call keep, that applies to all values. That applies to all. I will take you to display 1. I'll take you to display 1. And in the display 1, I'll call the method now. In the display 1, I'll call the method now. Okay. On the top of the table, I'm writing a single line statement. What's it, guys? Temp data dot keep. Temp data dot keep. I called up this particular method, temp data dot keep. And once I call temp data dot keep now, it'll keep on all the values. No need to again call peak, peak, peak on every time now. See, in index 1, I used peak. In display 1, I used keep. Clear? Okay, run again. Yeah, launching 5. Index 1 came. Display 1 came. Earlier I refreshed, I lost the values, right? I'm not losing, see. I'm refreshing the page, but my values are not lost. My values are not lost because I called keep. Sir, when to use keep, when to use peak. Very clear there. Yeah? If you want to retain only one value, call keep. You want to retain the whole values, keep. Peak should be for single, keep should be for all. That's all. Yeah, you changed the code. Afterwards, see, in this case, if you want to transfer data from display one to view other views, there also we must change. Or in display one also, if you want to retain, you need to change the code there also. Okay. To retain the values of temp data after accessing, we can also call keep. We can also call keep method in place of peak. But the difference is when we use a keep, it will retain all values of temp data and can be consumed in the next request. Where peak method is used for retaining. Peak method is used for retaining specific values only. So without calling the peak, above the table tag in single line, guys, what is it? Temp data dot keep. That's all. When you call temp data dot keep, it is going to keep you all the values. Are you clear? Call keep for retaining all the values of temp data and call peak to retain specific values of temp data. Got it, all of you? Okay, so that is about your temp data. Am I clear with temp data? Yes or not? They're not paste all the values. Does temp data store in the RAM? Anything is stored in the RAM only here. Your values are always stored in your RAM only. They're all in memory until and unless we are just going to have your stored in a physical storage like a hard disk or something. Everything is stored in RAM only. You are storing in RAM. Then how you are controlling the data by using this? I don't understand your question basically. Why is there any restriction to controller? See, When you're using RAM and accessing, when you access the values, the code is implemented to delete the values. When you access the values, the code is implemented to delete the values. But when you call peak, what is it? The code is implemented only to get the values, not to delete the values. See, everything will be based on how do you write it. That's all. Whatever you say, the computer will do that. So the all predefined, the logic is completely predefined, and we are just going to write up the code, like store it or leave it. How you write, that will execute. See, from day one, you're learning C#. I'm telling you this point. Nothing is done by a computer free. Every action the computer does to you, there is predefined logic. How the logic is implemented, the behavior will be like that. So the implemented logic to delete the values once you access the value, deleted. And coming to the keep method, they implemented the logic. What is it? Don't delete the values. That's it, is not deleting. I've given you the videos now. Watch it here. What is your problem? I don't understand. I've given you some extra videos to you. Watch them. Okay. So we are done with the three things, guys. What are three? View data, view bag. View data, view bag are same. No difference. Only thing is type safety comes in view bag. View data doesn't give you type safety. But both are only for one request. Only for one request. Temp data. It is multiple request. It is going to be multiple request. More than one request. Okay. And not type safe. But here also, even though the data is carried in multiple requests, there is a small restriction here. What is that? Until and unless you call keep or peak, the values are not retained. Once you try to access the values from there, automatically all the values are deleted. All the values are deleted for you. Is it clearer or not? All the values are deleted. If you want to retain them, either you need to call keep method or either you're required to call the peak method. Any of these two methods, you should call it for sure here. Is my point clearer, all of you? Okay, fine. Next. The next thing is cookies. The fourth option is cookies. Not cooking, man, cookies. You are fond of eating, I think. Okay, cookies. So what are these cookies? What are these cookies? Listen, guys, a cookie is a small piece of text. A cookie is a small piece of text that is used for storing information on the client computer. Till now, whatever we talked, like what view data, temp data, view bag, all will store the data on the server computer. Where will they store? Server computer. The data is stored on the server computer. But when you talk about cookie, the data is stored on the client computer. The best example for this is stay signed in option in your web applications. You find a stay signed in option. When you select the stay signed in option, next time it is not asking you user ID password. Yes or not? Next time it is not asking you user ID and the password. How is it possible? How is it possible? How is it possible is when you select the checkbox, stay signed in, what will the server do? You know, you enter the username, you enter the password. You entered the username and entered the password. Selected the stay signed in checkbox and clicked on the login button. When you click on the login button, request goes to server. Server will validate your user ID password. Both are valid. Now it will verify whether the user selected stay signed in or not. Yes, user selected stay signed in. Immediately, what will the server do? You know, the server will just create a small text file. It will create a small text file and stores it on the client computer. Stores it on the client computer. It is going to store on the client computer. Next time when you open the browser, next time when you try to open the browser, what happens? You are just going to type the domain now. Suppose you've done this in Amazon. Now you opened your website. Now you're typing Amazon.com. When you type Amazon.com, all the cookies associated with Amazon on your machine will be read now and sent to server. Did you catch my point or not? Who will do that? Browser. When you type www.amazon.in, what will the browser do? The browser will read all the cookies that are associated with Amazon and send them to the server. It won't send other cookies here. If it sends, that is a danger. Tomorrow, I store some cookies of my Facebook or something. If everything goes to server, they will start reading your data now. It won't. Amazon cookies will be sent to Amazon. Facebook cookies will be sent to Facebook. Are you clearer? Okay. So this cookie will go to server. When will it go? First request. When the cookie goes to first request, now the server will check it out. Yeah, cookie available. You already password available. Okay, then no need login. No need login. Bypass the login now. Bypass the login. Directly it is going to take you to the site now. Home page. Directly you'll go up to the home page. For example, on this computer, when I try to log in into Gmail or Google, when I try to log in into my gmail.com, when I try to log into my Gmail, it directly opened my inbox. It directly opened my inbox now. Yes or not? How, sir? Because my credentials are stored on this machine in the form of a cookie already. They are stored in the form of a cookie. Directly inbox came. Otherwise, directly inbox will come. Huh? What will come? Login page will come. You need to log in and then only it will come. Did you catch my point or not? Okay, the cookies. You can delete that cookie. How? The browser, you will delete history. No, that only. Control-Shift-Delete is the shortcut. Clear browsing history. Clear browsing history. If you clear, everything will be greater. I don't want to clear everything, guys. I want to create only cookies. Nearly 100 different site cookies are present here. So select that and delete the cookies. Clear. When you're clearing the cookies also, be careful. Here it will ask you. You want to clear the cookies in the last 24 hours, created in 7 hours. So what I'm selecting is all time. Unselected? Oh, okay. Just a minute. Let us clear all. Option there. No. So let me uncheck all this. Let me uncheck all this and let me delete the cookies and also these passwords are also stored in the form of cookies only. These are also cookies. Live.com, Google.com, all these passwords are saved on the computer. I'm just going to select this too and click on the clear now button. Okay. Gmail.com. It did not open gmail.com now. What did open? Login page. Why? Cookies are deleted. The cookies are deleted. The cookies are not available to you. Are you clearer or not? The cookies are not available to you. So basically browser stores all the information. Sometimes see, when you're working with web pages, the other problem what you generally face, what is that, you have an image. You have an image. In your web page, you have an image. The image is coming on the browser. Now, you got a new image. Name is same, but image changed. Name is same, image changed. But still, you'll get old image only. Like one of the biggest problem in the web applications. What is it? Tomorrow, if I change the image, but not the name, what will be loaded in a old image? Old image, new image won't load. Why? Browser caches images. Browser caches images. For that type of problems, you're required to clear the browser image cache. If you face that problem, you need to see 327 MB of images are in the cache memory. So even though these images are updated on the site, still I will get the old images. Did you catch my point or not? So this is one of the areas. So you can delete whatever you want. If I select all, it is whitewash. Everything is cleared. Understood or not? Okay, just you can clear whatever you want, just giving an idea, that's all. Okay, are you clear about a cookie now? So when this cookie is created, when I just choose the stay signed in option, when I choose the stay signed in option and send a request to server, server will now create a cookie and sends to my machine and stores on my machine. Stores on my machine. So next time when I just make a request, what the browser will do? The browser will pick all the cookies associated with that site now. The browser will pick all the cookies associated with that site and sends to server. What will the server do now? Server will verify. What it verifies? Whether the required cookie means your already password cookie is available or not. If present, directly takes you to the main page now. Earlier it has taken directly to my inbox now. Any page here, home page or inbox or anything. No cookie not available, login page. Cookie not available, you'll go to login page now. Okay, that is how it behaves now. Yeah, some sites will ask you accept all cookies. Yeah, basically browsers can restrict cookies. Browsers can restrict cookies. So in that scenarios, it will ask you. For example, if you go to the browser settings, basically, this is changed. Just a minute. Where you have important browser data. Which one? Here you're telling. We have cookies inside data permissioning. You'll find the option here, cookies inside permission. Actually, the browser was updated. If it is a Chrome, you will directly find in the left-hand side. In Edge browser, you'll find it on the top here. Okay, in the settings, you'll find the option cookies, and you click on that. Basically here, you'll find the option manage, and here there is an option allow sites to recommended, but I can block. In such type of scenarios, if you block third-party cookies, preload pages for faster browsing and searching, see all the cookies that are available. If basically browser restricts these particular settings here, in such scenarios, it will again ask you, what is it? Do you want to accept the cookies or not? Do you want to accept the cookies or not, basically? If the browser settings are closed, then it will ask you. But my settings are open. Okay. Yes, cookies are only used. Okay, fine. So now the question arises here. Sir, how will a server create a cookie on my machine? How will server create a cookie on my machine? Next, how will server read cookies on my machine? Are the two things what we need to learn now? First, I selected stay signed in. Server should create a cookie now. Yes or not? Next, when I just go next time, the next request, server will read my cookie. So how to create a cookie? How to read a cookie? Okay, guys, if at all you just wanted to create a cookie on your machine, listen, there is a class called as HTTP cookie. There is a class called as HTTP cookie. You're required to create the instance of that class. How? New. And now guys, this cookie should be given a name now. You need to give a name. What name? Any name to read it next time. Any name to read it next time. I'm giving the name as a login cookie. Anything here. But remember this name. Next time you need to read the cookie with this name only. Okay, fine. Next, cookie of user is equals to name of the user. Name of the user. I'm storing some username. Next, cookie of password is equals to a password. Suppose the password is admin@123 is a password. Are you clearer or not? Okay, admin@123 is the password. So this is the password. So this is a cookie now. So we have created a cookie, and under the cookie we stored two values, 2, 3, any number of values you can store, no problem. And then you're required to write this cookie on the browser. You need to write the cookie on the browser. To write it, we have an option called response.cookies.add. Response.cookies.add. So response.cookies.add the name of the cookie. Are you guys clearer? How to create a cookie? Create the instance of the class. Which class? And give a name for the constructor. That is the name of the cookie. Second step. Now, store the values into the cookie. Add the values into cookie. Third step, write the cookie on the browser by calling response.cookies.add. When you say response.cookies.add, immediately this cookie gets added on the browser. Immediately, this cookie gets added on the browser. The cookie is now added to your browser now. So now you have a cookie on the browser now. Are you clearer? Next, this is writing or reading? Writing. Now let us learn reading. How to read the cookie. Okay. HTTP cookie is equals to request. Now earlier we used a response. Now it is request dot. Okay. Cookies. Request dot cookies of. You're required to tell the cookie name now. You're required to tell the cookie name now. What is the cookie name? Login cookie. This will read the cookie and give you now. You're not creating a new cookie. You're reading a existing cookie. Request dot cookies of. Which cookie? Login cookie. You got it now? Now you can pick the value. String name is equals to cookie of user. Otherwise, cookie of user. Next, string password is equals to cookie of password. Cookie of password. That's all. First one is writing the cookie. Second one is reading the cookie. You have a doubt now. What is the scope of this cookie, sir? What is the scope of the cookie? If you create a cookie in one page, if the cookie is created in the login page, suppose the cookie is created in the login page, you can access the cookie values in all the pages you visit now. Did you understand or not? Means what is the scope? Global. The scope is global. The scope is going to be global. If you create a cookie on one page, you can access the cookie values in all the pages you visit. Only for today, or can I access it in the future also? Did you understand my question? This cookie is accessible only now, or is it accessible in the future? Tomorrow, day after tomorrow also can I access? No. Cookies are two types. Listen, cookies are two types. First one is in-memory cookie. Second one is persistent cookie. First one is in-memory cookie. Second one is persistent cookie. What is in-memory cookie? In-memory cookie means the cookie is stored in the browser's memory space. Where is it stored? The browser's memory space. So once you close the browser, all the cookies are destroyed. Did you catch my point? It is stored in the browser's memory space. So once the cookie is closed, once the browser is closed, what will happen? All the cookies are destroyed. Clearer or not? Option number 2. Option number 2. What is option number 2? Option number 2 is persistent cookie. Option number 2 is persistent cookie. What is persistent cookie? Persistent cookie means you can store that cookie. Means that cookie is stored on the hard disk. The cookie is stored on the client's hard disk. And it is stored on the hard disk. Even if I close browser also, my cookie is persistent now. Can I use it for multiple times or not? I can use it for multiple times. Are you clear? So now you'll have a doubt. So now your return response.cookies.add and created a cookie. This is persisted or in memory? Default is in memory. Default is in memory. Sir, can I make it persisted? Yes, you can. You can make it persisted also. How, sir? If you want to make your cookie persisted, you need to write cookie dot expires is equals to and assign a date and time until when you want the cookie to be on the hard disk. Means I want the cookie to store for 30 days. After 30 days, the cookie should not be. Sometimes see in some websites, even though you say stay signed in, after some days, again it will ask you enter username password. It's asking it like this means what is the meaning? Cookie got expired. Cookie is expired. That's why it will ask you username and password again. Okay. So what you need to give? You need to give some date time value. I'm giving date time dot now dot add days. I want the cookie to be storing there for 10 days now. So I'm giving a date after 10 days now. Means I'm asking the cookie to be after 10 days. But even though you say 10 days here, if you clear the browser history now, cookies are destroyed. Are you clearer or not? Sir, I said 10 days, but the cookie is destroyed. You only deleted the browser history because the cookie is in your control only. Client machine means client control. You clear the browser history, then automatically your cookies are going to be destroyed. They won't be continuing or persisting for you for a long time. Is my point clear, all of you? Yes or not? So that is what. So by default, they are going to be in memory. You want to make it persisted, you are required to use this statement, cookies dot expires. Okay. So guys, you can observe writing cookies on client machine. Created a cookie, stored the values. Next, response.write. Now reading. Request.cookies off. Be careful, the name what I used here, the same name what I used here now. From there, I can pick the values. I can pick the values also. Next. Cookies are two types. In-memory cookies are stored in browser's memory. So once the browser is closed, immediately all the cookies that are associated with the browser will be destroyed. And by default, every cookie is in memory only. Persistent cookies are stored on hard disk of the client machines. Hard disk of the client machines. So even after closing the browser window, also, they'll be persisting and can be accessed next time we visit the site. To make a cookie as a persistent, we need to set expire property of cookie with a date time value. Cookies.expires is equals to date and time. Cookies.expires is equals to date and time. You can just go for the date and time value like this. Am I clear, all of you? Yes or not? Okay, this is how the cookies has to be created. And don't forget, once a cookie is created and stored, you can access that cookie in all the pages you visit now. Not only one page, you can access in all the pages. Sir, I'm traveling between 10 pages. In all 10 pages, you can access for any number of times. Just like temp data, once you access, I will delete the values. No, it will be maintaining the values like this only. Within memory until the browser is closed. If it is persisted until the time expires. Are you clearer? Come on, guys. Let us come to home controller. I will add a new method. So what are we learning? Region. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do is I just wanted to go to my home controller and I want to add a new method. Our last method is 5, right? Okay. Let's call it as 6. Let's call it as 6. Guys, I don't want to store it here. I want to store in a cookie. So what you do first is equals to new, give a name for it. Give a name for this particular thing. Why login? It's not a login. Let me call the product cookie. Array, anything here. I just given the name as product cookie. Remember, yeah, product cookie. I'm not storing login data. Okay, product cookie. But remember this name here. When you are reading, this name is very, very important. Next. Or next, store the values. Just store the values. Cookie of ID. I'm getting an error with ID and price. We did see one thing. Tell me, is it not the same way you stored values and view data and view temp data? Array, they're directly available. You used it, but here we created the instance of the class. But that is the same process. But there we did not get any error when I assign ID and price. But now when I assign ID and price, I'm getting error. Any guess? Why am I getting an error? Why are you thinking about null here? Ignore that. Forget about null. Null, not null. Why? What is your problem? Array, listen here. When I explained about the view data, temp data, what did I say? Why you're talking conversion, storing, why you're talking conversion. Understand the concept first. When you're accessing, you convert it. That is okay. But now in a storing there, I did not get error. Here, why I'm getting, that is what the question, that's all. Because when I explained about view data, temp data yesterday, what did I say? View data of key is equals to value. Value is of type object. Anything you store. Yes or not? But here when I'm storing, I'm getting error. Why? Because it is not accepting object. It's not accepting object. Then what it accepts? Strings. What it accepts is string. View data, temp data, all will accept your object. What explicitly expand is equals to value in the bracket there an object. That's why whatever you assign, error won't come. But here we are getting an error means, what is the meaning? It's not accepting object then. Then what it accepts, sir? It accepts only strings. It accepts only strings. So dot to string. So understand here, while assigning also, conversions will be required. While accessing, sir, we'll see. While accessing, we'll see. Whether conversion required or not required, we'll see while accessing. Okay, now? Next. Response dot cookies dot add. Add what? Cookie. Response dot cookies dot add cookie You're just going to write the cookie now. Return view. Return view. Now let us add a view, guys. Add view. Okay. Okay. Add a view. Now in the view, I want to display the values. In the view, I want to display the values. Where are the values? Where are the values? Inside the cookie. Where are the values? You need to read that cookie first. You need to read that cookie first. Okay, come on, let's read. HTTP cookie is equals to request dot cookies of product cookie. Oh, sorry, guys. Product cookie. Now start reading the values. Int ID is equals to cookie of ID. And the return type is string here. You stored string, you'll get string only. So directly, if you want to read it as a string, no need any conversion. Directly you want to read it as a string, no need any conversion. But price I cannot read as a string. Yes or not? So int ID is equals to int dot. Next, string name is equals to cookie of name. Double price is equals to double dot parse of price. Oh, cookie of price. Got it? Once you get the value, I'm writing price is equals to price plus price into 0.1. Price into 0.1. Are you clear? Now you got all the values in the three variables now. First value is in ID, name, third value is in price. Okay, guys, hold on a second. Now let me copy my table code. Paste here. Look, all of you, no need to write all these things. Simply @ID. Why? ID is in the where cookie are you stored in a variable available cookie. You'll already loaded in the variable now. So @ID. @name. And already this calculation is completed. Yes or not? This calculation is already completed. So @price. Sorry, @price. Understood or not? Why, sir? Because already we have written the logic to capture the values in the variables. Directly go and substitute on the variables there. Can I add a link here for navigating to another action method now? Right in the bottom, after displaying all the values, just a minute. Okay, that's it. In the bottom, after displaying all the values, just adding a method to navigate to index 7. Home controller, index 7. Is it clear? What do you want to do, sir? In index 7, I want to display the values. In index 7, I want to display the same thing I shown you in the previous example. Yes or not? But to do that, there we called peek, keep. Nothing is required here. That's what I want to tell you. Did you get my point? So how to do it now? Come on, add another method. Public view result index 7 return. That's all. No need to write anything at all. Return view. Why? This already created the cookie. You can access on the whole site, anywhere in the site. No props. Now let us add view. Okay. Now come here. Go to index 7. What did you write in index 7? Copy it as it is now. Paste it. Okay. Come on. What to call first? Index 6. Let's try. This is code for calling index 5 now. Let me change here. Let me change. What is it? Index 6. Okay. Index 6 only will launch. What is launched? Index 6 only. Click on this. If you want on the link, I want to navigate to another page now. There also these values will come. Did you catch my point or not? Any number of pages you visit, no props in all the pages, these values are carry forwarded. Yes, cookie will store the data of type strings only. Cookies will store the data in which format? String. You can write only strings into that. Are you clearer? Yesterday, I stored a list in the view data. You cannot store a list in the cookie. Cookie drawback is cookie can store the data of type only string. It cannot store other things. Okay, we'll talk about it. But are you guys clearer? Which method to call? 6. Will launch you 7. Will launch you 7. If you want, I'll do one thing. Just a minute, guys. Let me come to 7. All of you, watch it. From 6 to 7, you're going, right? Okay. In 7, watch. In 7, I'll add you another link. Will take you to test controller. Are you clear? You're navigating to another action method of another controller. Come on, let us go to test controller. Help me. Public, view result, return, view. That's it. Add a view. Add a view. What is the code? Same code what you have in the index 6 and index 7. Let me copy that as is. If you want a link, place a link here also to go to another page. Pasting the same code. Once again, I'm launching you 6. Once again, you can watch. I'm launching the 6. Observe, guys. What are you launching? What will come? Index 6 only will come. But here there is a link to take you to click. Accessible. And here there is a link. Click. See the address bar. Values. The what I shown you. Once you store a value in the cookie, the values can be accessed in all the pages you visit. The values can be accessed in all the pages you visit. Is it clear? So just you can see, guys, you just added the links to navigate. First you added 2 methods here. What is it? 6 and 7. There is a view for 6. In the view for 6, we have a link to navigate to 7. Now, there is a view for 7. In the view for 7, you have a link to navigate to index 2 of test. And now in the index 2 method and this one. And you can see the complete flow of control. Request sent to. When the hyperlink is clicked, redirected to off home controller. Again, when the hyperlink is clicked on page, it is redirected to index to action method of test control. It is jumping now from one place to another place, and all the values are going to be accessible to you. Are you clearer or not? All the values will be accessible to you. And now, if you look at the drawbacks of the cookies, for every site, you can create only 50 cookies. This is increased here. Earlier, it was 20 only. Earlier, it is only 20 cookies, and now they made it as 50 cookies. So after 50 cookies, if you write a new cookie, it will go and override an old cookie. Did you catch my point or not? 50 cookies created here. Now you are creating a 51st cookie. If you are creating a 51st cookie, the permission is only for 50 only now. So what will happen? One of the old cookie will be overridden. Okay. Second drawback. You can store only 4 KB data into each cookie. Means for every site, 200 KB permission here. That's all. For every site, 50 cookies. For every site, 50 cookies, 4 KB data means 200 KB. 200 KB data permission for each site. More than 200 KB, you can store. And the value should be of type string only. That's what I already said here. You can store only strings. And cookies are not secured. Why? You're storing on the client machine. Tomorrow, someone stole your laptop. Someone stole your laptop now. Okay. And if they can log in, if they can log in into your laptop and open the browser, your Facebook, your Gmail, everything is accessible to them now. Secured, huh? So you should be a little bit careful. That's why in public machines, you should never use cookies at any point of time. Mostly in the personal computers only, but not in the public computers. Okay. Even say, and again, because you're storing this on the client machine, because you're storing on the client machine, client can delete them. Yeah, I deleted now. Client can disable them also. I said you how to disable also. Cookies and site permission, there you'll find an option for disabling the cookies. Someone asked, sir, where are they stored? Is the location of your cookies, guys. If you are using Microsoft Edge, C drive, here you'll find a not user. With what username you logged in, that name. If you log in as administrator, administrator. I log into my computer as NIT, then that is NIT. That is the username. Afterwards, local, Microsoft, Edge, user data. That is the folder where you'll find your cookies. That is the folder where you'll find your cookies. Even Chrome also, similar location. In the place of Microsoft, you have Google, Edge, you'll have Chrome. Got it? This is the location where cookies will be stored. If you want, you can find there. You can select and delete the cookie. You'll find a cookie file. You can delete up the cookie. Without deleting an address bar, without deleting the browser, from hard disk also we can delete off. Okay? And this is how to disable the cookies. You'll have an option. What is it? Cookies and site permissions. Go there and you can switch off the toggle button. Not a regular button, toggle button. On and off button you'll find. And next, how to delete? Clear browsing history, you can delete your cookies. So everything is on the client control. Remember now, everything is on the client control. Client can delete the cookies. Client can disable the cookies. If I disable the cookies, the method 6 or 7 will not run now. If I disable the cookies, the action method 6, the action method 7 will not run. Try it out. You try it out. Are you clear? I said you how to disable. Disable the cookie and try to run the method. Just check it out. 6 and 7 methods will not run for you now because the cookies are disabled on your browser. Point clear, all of you? So this is all about cookies, how to create them and how to use them. Okay, let us stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow.
Runtimer.
Where? That's all. Double cannot access a null value. You should take a double question mark. Show me the machine. Bring your laptop. Keep వాడతామా అది పీక్ అప్పుడు పీక్ అక్కడ కూడా పీక్ వాడాలి మళ్ళీ సెకండ్ పేజ్ లో కూడా పీక్ వాడాలి మీరు ఒక పేజ్ లో పీక్ వాడితే ఆ పేజ్ కు ఉంటది నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్ కి పోతుంది కదా నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్ లో పీక్ వాడాలి ఇలా ఎన్ని పేజెస్ కావాలంటే అన్ని పేజ్ లో పీక్ వాడుకుంటే అలా ఓకే Yeah, I understand. Local host. Tomorrow. I have office today. Tomorrow is office holiday.
రియల్ టైమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ కావాలంటే
వెయిట్ చేయండి ఏముండదు నేను చెప్తా
చెప్పింది కాకుండా కొద్దిగా ఎక్స్ట్రా చేద్దామని
అలా ఏమో సైట్లు ఉండవు గూగుల్ చేయడమే గూగుల్ చేసుకోండి
Recording stopped.